Hello, hello. How are we? How are we? All right, so starting off with Tesla. So this is actually a really interesting one because we have this nice ascending level of support that is basically very picture perfect. One of the best, most consistent levels of support right here. If we look, the first touch point was all the way back in March last year. So I mean, we've got several touch points on this thing, and we are about, and obviously this is relevant because as you can see, we're about to hit that again. And once we hit that, that's your potential entry point. But I want you to realize with Tesla, I'm not saying whether I'm bullish or bearish on the company long term or whatever, right? I don't know enough about the company. You guys know I have mixed feelings on some of the electric cars just because it's, just straight up with all the electric vehicles. But a lot of people love this company, obviously. But I want you to look at a couple of different indicators, not just that we're about to get on this ascending level, right? If we look at the weekly RSI, it's not horrible, but just look at the chart, right? Just look at the chart. I mean, you have to ask yourself, has Tesla justified, the insane movements since, 2019? You may ask yourself, Brandon, this is what people have been saying this about Tesla, like, for literally eternity. Yes, that's true, my friends, but it's still a good question. It's still something you have to answer, and you have to decide whether it is something that's worth it to you. And do you think their company is, justifying the valuation? Looking at some other indicators for Tesla, there's nothing else really crazy to me. We're about to get a cross between the 200-day EMA and the 200-day MA. That could be very interesting. Also, if we do dip more, if we dip and break down, confirm the breakdown below this level, I would watch for a touch point and an entry point potentially on that 200-day EMA. So 578, that's what you're going to be looking at. So that is something to keep in mind. Looking at the trend direction measurements here. So the super trend, we're actually in bullish territory still somehow, right? On the STAR, you did just get that flip, but you can say this for both these indicators: the longer you go, for one direction, the more likely it's going to be to flip to the other direction, whatever that is. So those are, you can use the argument for both sides here, I guess. But the fact that the super trend is about to intersect this ascending level perfectly, that is a very bullish thing, for sure. So that is a potential entry point. If you're very bullish on Tesla, I would recommend considering an entry point on that ascending level. But it's time sensitive, so watch. It's really easy to see where this trend line is drawn. I mean, look at it. Okay, it's very clear. You got 1,000 touch points on here. So that's what we're looking at as far as the Tesla technicals, unless I'm forgetting something here. Let me look at some other indicators, see if I'm forgetting anything. I'm going to look at the weekly. Okay, if we're going to load here. Let's see. Maybe not. Yeah, okay, so we got the daily back. Not the weekly? Okay, there we go, finally. Okay, so yeah, not really anything interesting there. Just confirm the breakdown. Looks like weekly close below that middle 21 SMA on the weekly. We look at the monthly. Let's see if we can find anything. Nothing. Okay, so all right, so that's what we're looking at as far as the technicals for Tesla. Now I know I'm not a huge Tesla guru. This is we're actually covering Tesla right now. If some of you are wondering, like, Brandon, why are we covering Tesla? This isn't your usual thing. It's actually because, well, I'll get into why at the end. I guess I won't spoil it, but basically, I don't know everything about the company. I'm just giving you some indicators on the technicals here, some fundamentals, right? Inside ownership is 5% according to Fentel.io, and institutional is going to be 57%. And looking at this article here, there's one thing that stood out for me right here. So the next step for Tesla is going to be transforming the brand from a luxury car to an affordable mode of transportation, right? Electric cars, one of the bad things about them is that they are expensive as crap, right? Typically, I mean, look, we'll be the least expensive with the 35,000. I mean, I didn't even think it was that much. Usually, I mean, they're going for a lot of money. So this is really only an option for a certain percentage of the population. So that's something to keep in mind with Tesla. And besides that, I don't really want to give you guys any of my extrapolations on Tesla, just because I don't like, you guys know I don't like giving strong opinions unless I've really done a lot of digging. So that is definitely so it's like, well, just keep this stuff in mind. So that's basically what we're going to do with Tesla. Now, next up, what else do we want to do? I want to look at a couple technicals for some other stocks here, and we only have, like, I don't know, 45-ish minutes, maybe less than that. So basically, I want to go over this stuff first, though, because this is probably the most important. And before you get too bored, you're like, Brandon, I'm done with you. I can't handle you anymore. I understand that. You never know what you're getting yourself into when you click on my channel, boys. But this is some need-to-know stuff for next week. This is really important. So first one here, they were expecting expected job numbers were we were expecting 1 million in April, but the report came out, it's only 266K, so absolutely awful miss. But it's actually good in a way. It's actually very, very good for us, for the high growth guys, for the speculative, well, not really speculative, but that's what other people probably call us, hyper growth investors. It's good for us short term at least. This is primarily because earlier on in the week there were, here, let me go ahead and do this. Earlier on in the week, there were whispers that the Fed may begin talking about raising interest rates. Like, that is not what we want to see. However, the recent jobs report should quiet that chatter down. And this is kind of what's really important here, because if we were to kind of extend this little euphoria that we've been having since the recovery, and literally right after the crash, everything has just been market basically holding our hands and pumping us up to all-time highs. Essentially, at least some of it. At least some of it for sure. So, but anyways, okay. Sorry, my mouse just glitched right there. I just lost my train of thought. But anyways, if the Fed keeps interest rates down and there's nothing really crazy, basically, because if we continue to get low job numbers, right? If the economy keeps sucking, the market's going to keep going up, because we're going to need to require more Fed interference and intervention. And as long as we have low interest rates, as long as we're not talking about changing it up, stocks are going to continue to rise. And even if once we do get the inevitable basically interest rate hike, yes, the markets are going to tank a little bit. We're going to get some serious dippage, but at the same time, I don't see, you guys already know, I've said this many times, I don't think we're going to get a bear market for the Nasdaq. I don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen. We can get into, that's a whole nother video that is way too long, but I'm only on the first point here. But number two, there have been concerns on whether the Build Back Better plan will have legs in the House or Senate, specifically the tax hikes, right? Some believe that the tax hikes will need to be reevaluated and most likely adjusted down. Very important news. This is very important. We will need to pay close attention to this in the upcoming weeks. I already made a video about why I think there's actually a really strong case to be made on why the tax hikes that Biden is trying to do are not going to get passed. And obviously, if they were not to get passed, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I mean, the taxes and his whole tax deal and Janet Yellen's comments, those were the two things that I wouldn't say started, but I would definitely say it definitely expedited at least some of this sell-off. So if we were to see no tax hike bill getting passed, or even if we could scale it down, I think that would be really positive for the markets. I think that could be the tailwind / catalyst that pushes us above all-time highs, excuse me. And if we got that, you guys know my price target on BioNano. I've said this before. I said in a couple months, I would not be surprised. All right, I'm not trying to get you too hyped right now, all right? But if we can confirm the breakout above all-time highs for the Nasdaq and the other markets, right? And assuming the Russell 2000 doesn't continue shitting itself, right? Obviously, the Russell 2000 has not been our friend. IWM has kind of been not our friend lately, since February 16th at least. If these two indices can do fairly well, all-time highs, break out above all-time highs, like I think they will, these stocks will do absolutely insane, I think, because that kind of brings me to the next point that we're going to talk about here. A sector rotation back into high growth. Let me talk about, okay, so this actually is really, really interesting right here. If Bitcoin and crypto crash, not necessarily crash, or dip. Here, let me go ahead and change this. / dip really hard. This could be very good for high growth stocks. Let me give you an example. Okay, well, I don't really, not necessarily an example, but basically DOGE is recovering right now, which I hate, but it is recovering. I mean, if we look at the daily, it's a perfect time. This is why I love the middle Bollinger Band, by the way, but that's a little bit off topic. But basically, as people start taking profits with crypto, where do you think they're going to go? And as Doge and crypto continues to run, some people, a lot of people say nowadays, I'm considering taking all my money from my high growth stocks and throwing it all in crypto. It's worked so well for me, my friends. There's a couple problems with that. There's a lot of problems with that, actually, in my opinion. Number one, you're selling the high growth low, and you're buying whatever you're going to buy in crypto high. You should be doing the opposite, right? According to Warren Buffett, right? Buy low, sell high. That's the name of the game. You should be doing the opposite. If you were actually just basing it off that, you should be selling these bad boys, not necessarily right now, but, sell them when they're high, because these are, even right now, these are high valuations compared to a month ago, right? Obviously. and buying the stuff that's getting beat down, right? Like MP. Are you kidding? MP's gotten killed. Jumia's gotten killed. I mean, everything's gotten killed here except CTXR. Really, CTXR has held up really nicely. And well, yeah. So basically, there's going to be an inevitable sector rotation back into high growth, 100%. Also, by the way, if we have any members in here, the members only chat mode is on. Obviously, I'm sure that you guys realize that at this point, but I am taking any requests. These Sunday live streams, I take any requests from the members, any stock, any news piece. You want to do diligence fundamentals, I'll go digging for you on the stream, because right now we only have like 7 members. So, you know, if one of them joins, it's like, okay, whatever you want. Anyways, until then, if none of the members join, earnings this week, right? So we've got a ton of earnings this week. Here, let me go ahead and get earnings whisper to tell you exactly how many we have here. Let's go to the calendar. So we don't have a ton. We do have a fair amount on tomorrow and on Thursday. The BioNano is Thursday. That's the big day, right? May 13th. But this is going to be another factor that we're going to need to be keeping these in mind. So definitely pay attention to those bond yields. Let's get the bond yields pulled up as well. So bond yields on the 10-year, I think, let's see how they've been doing lately. I haven't checked them in a little bit. I think we're still doing pretty good. Okay, yeah, we're not doing too bad. We're not doing too bad at all. Okay, so yeah, a small uptick, very small the last couple of days. Not really, though. I mean, we've had such a... Bond yields have gotten absolutely killed these last few days since the 29th. And remember, this was when the market is actually mirroring bond yields the last 20 days, actually, which is really weird. But the market went up. This was its peak. 420, that was all-time highs for the Nasdaq, and now we're going down just like this, and then it went up right with the markets. Well, I guess, yeah, it did go up right with the markets, actually. So yeah, very weird behavior with the bond yields and the markets compared to what we're used to. But we're going to need to keep a close eye on those for sure. So that's another thing to talk about. And now, with all of this in mind, right, with all of this crap in mind, sector rotation, what is it going to be, right? That's what we all want to know. When is the high growth stocks? When are we going to return back to normal? When are we going to get to February 16th levels? Well, I wish I had a date for you. I wish I could tell you we're going to be good this week, but I seriously do think that this week I think this week is going to be either really strong. I think it's going to be a really strong move to the upside or the downside. I think we're going to be decisive, and I think we're going to take a clear route. I think if we can confirm the breakout here and confirm some of the reversal signs, like I don't think we have the SAR, or on the 4-hourly we don't have either. On the 2-hourly we do. We have both. So this is kind of what I'm talking about. We have some signs of reversal, a bullish reversal, but we don't have everything, right? We don't have confirmation whatsoever. And talking about confirmation, we don't even have confirmation on this level here, right? We closed 2 days in a row in the very crucial level of support, and obviously the longer we stay in here, the more likely we are to break. But obviously at the same time, it's like, well, are we about to get rejected? Basic technical analysis in my experience would say we're more likely to break it the longer we stay, but anything can happen. There's a ton of contingencies in the markets, of course, but I do think it is more likely that we're going to break down, chill out in this 13.4 13.5k support, or get a bounce off that, who knows. Or the other option, right, besides a strong move down, that's the first option. The other move, confirm the breakout, start making higher highs and higher lows. That is what we want. That is what we want to see. I mean, obviously that's what we want to see. I think everyone wants that. But as far as the high growth rotation, it's going to happen. It happened last time. People who have been saying nowadays, oh, we're never going to see a sector rotation. High growth is done. I'm going to go to crypto. Like, okay, do it if you want, buddy. But last time, here, let me give you a little perspective here. Let me go to the Nasdaq again. So back on March 5th, right, the worst day in the markets, right here, people were saying the exact same thing, and high growth didn't really fully recover, but it recovered. It got a nice bounce. It got a really nice bounce. This was a very nice day, very nice time for high growth stocks on the 16th of March there. Then we got killed again. Then we continued getting killed with the markets went down again, markets went up, small caps went down again, and now we're kind of in the middle. We don't really have much of a bounce. I mean, honestly, we don't. I mean, small caps, yesterday Friday was a bounce, but not really. I mean, it was a little bit of a bounce at the in the open. At the start of the open, it was nice, but it's not really. It's not enough to make you confident that there's a for sure sector rotation back into it. But given this stuff, I think a sector rotation is actually I think there's a good chance that we get at least somewhat of a sector rotation back into high growth, and kind of more money coming out of crypto, coming out of recovery stocks, high cap tech stocks, right? The Twitter, Facebook, all those crappy stocks. We hate those stocks. At least I do. So that's kind of what we're expecting. Those are some important numbers I want everyone to be aware of. Let me go ahead and close these tabs so my computer doesn't blow up. It probably already is. So besides that, let's just look at some technicals, and then I'm gonna, I guess this is a quick one. We don't have any members in here now, so I don't know. We'll go on for a little while more, but I'm going to do some technicals on some stocks we don't really normally cover, so I want to do microvision first. So we are holding this, what is this, 78.6% retracement level right here. We did confirm this as we got a bounce off this. We got a pretty nice bounce. We got a perfect rejection off this next level, this next Fibonacci level. If we look at some indicators here, what I don't like is that we're hugging, we're basically getting rejected. We have a little bit of indecision in price action, because we're kind of confirming the breakdown below this 21-day SMA, and we are, as you can see, we got three daily closes consecutively below it. We're getting rejected at it. We got it a little bit down, false breakout right there. We closed the day below, so that I definitely don't like that. But obviously the company's valuation, the earnings overreaction, I don't think this is a horrible buy right now. Obviously I'm holding a fair amount of shares. Take a look at the RSI, it's 47.50, so you're looking, you're closer to the oversold, you're basically neutral. You can go either way for microvision right now, according to the RSI. If we look at the SAR though, what I love about this one, similarly to BioNano, we are in bullish territory on the Supertrend on the daily. We held above that, and that is acting as a perfect level of support, in perfect congruency, by the way, with the 78.6% retracement level at 12.99. So I absolutely love that. Looking at the SAR, you're bearish, right? You have 5 days of carnage on the SAR, but look how far away this is. This was just straight up Wall Street bets. It's so funny, but I do think this was an overreaction. I mean, there's not much indication for price action. What the SAR, it's bearish, obviously. If we look at the smaller time frames, let me look here and see if we get any indication for price action. So you're bearish both on the 4-hourly. That is not something that you like to see. You want to see, before you get an entry point into microvision, if you're considering this one, maybe wait for at least one of these to flip. The SAR will flip first. The SAR always flips first, or at least mostly. So I would definitely watch that. Let's see if we have any. Let's see if we have any reversal signs on the 2-hourly. So we do on the 2-hourly. We do. So that's good to see. But on the SAR, you're still bearish, and on the 1-hourly, you're bearish and bullish. So not really. I mean, you basically been trading sideways essentially the last few days. So it's not super clear which direction you're going to go in these next few days. But that's pretty much all the interesting indicators, I think. For let's check the accumulation distribution line here. Okay, nothing. Okay, that's a lot. Look at this. Look at how crazy that is. This is a new indicator. I'll do a tutorial on that indicator pretty soon, because I don't know if many people know what that is. But yeah, that's pretty much all the interesting indicators for this one. Let me look at the weekly real quick. Okay, so here's a potential entry point. Oh man, that is where I'm going to add shares. Whenever that middle weekly Bollinger Band, that 21 SMA comes up, meets with that what is that, 78.6% retracement level in a couple weeks here, we get a couple more weekly closes. This weekly Bollinger Band is just going to slowly move up, as long as the price action is above it. And I would not say, I don't think we're breaking $12 again, or at least I don't think that's likely. We definitely could, who knows. But anyways, that's microvision. What else should we do? Let's do, what do we usually not cover? Let's go to something else. I feel like we usually cover most of these. I don't know what we should cover. You know what? Let's cover DOGE and Bitcoin, because this is just where all the hype is, right? So you did get that bounce off the 21 SMA on the daily, which is literally a perfect entry point. I was actually considering buying right here, but I just couldn't get myself. I couldn't get the faith to it, just because, I mean, look how overextended you are. I mean, look at the run up. Look at this. Are you kidding me? Oh man, but if you're trading this, you can definitely make a lot of money trading this. But I don't recommend holding long. At least I don't recommend getting a long-term entry point at current prices. So taking a look at the band here, at the reversal and trend indications and measurements, got that bearish flip on the SAR. You hate to see that, but you love to see that the daily you're holding that super trend. But then again, guys, consider this: when you go up like 1,000% here, or however much this one's went up, it's really hard to get that bearish flip on the super trend. So that's kind of why we want to use the 4-hourly in situations like this. And we got that bearish flip with the super trend. So, I mean, buying in right now seems really dumb because you had that crazy sell-off, and then you had your bounce. Your buy point was that, right? Obviously, we all know that middle Bollinger Band is an easy buy point. If I mean, there are contingencies if it's a good company, if you're willing to hold the bag, if the sell-off is not justified, things like that. But also at the same time, it's very scary because a hype stock like this, this is a hype stock essentially. When you get a small sell-off, oftentimes there's stop losses and there's people who FOMO'd in that are rushing out to break even because they got too greedy. Now they're scared they're going to lose money, so they're basically panic selling out. And that happens a lot with these kind of stocks. So I would be careful with this. Is the sell-off over for Doge? I don't know. I will say this though. Eventually, if this run continues for Bitcoin and crypto and Doge, people are going to be taking profits and literally taking their money from Bitcoin and crypto and coming in, not necessarily to my stocks, right? These are all my stocks, but to these stocks, right? The high growth sector, because this is the most undervalued sector right now, objectively, right? Come on. I mean, yes, there's going to be some Dave Ramsey types that would rather go and buy another Facebook share, right? Those people, right? That's fine. If you are one, I love Dave Ramsey. No, actually like a lot of what Dave Ramsey says, but this is the sector that's undervalued right now, in my view. So, where are they going to take their profits? Here. They're going to take their profits here. So for me, this is why it's so dumb to sell these stocks low and go buy into Doge when it's at such a high valuation just compared to a week ago or a month ago. So it's just, so that's kind of what I think about that. Anyways, since we don't have any members in here, how long have we been going? What did this start at? 20 minutes ago? I think I'm going to go ahead and do, I don't know, I'm going to tell you guys what we got coming up next, and then we're going to end the stream, I believe. I think so, unless I'm forgetting something. Okay, yeah, let me talk about this real quick. So I know you guys can't do the live chat because there's no members in here, I guess, so that's sad. But comment, actually, do a real comment, like a normal comment. Tell me if you would like to see me debunk bearish BNGO YouTubers, because someone asked me to do that. Benjamin Yang, that's who some commenter wants me to. Someone wants me to debunk his opinions on BIOL. I have not looked at that, but I can definitely do that. I would look forward to that. But I also am scared of a channel war and a comment war, because that's just going to war with another YouTuber because of their stock opinions, But I would do it in a nice way. I would do it in a very innocuous way. But still, it doesn't matter nowadays. Let's be honest. You offend people no matter what you do. Don't care, frankly, but I do a little bit sometimes, Anyways, yeah, I think we're gonna end the stream, boys. I think we're gonna end the stream because I'm trying to get this one out, this video out here soon. Look at the thumbnail right now, visible confusion. Love it, love it, love it. All right, anyways, all right, boys. Current position here. Let's show the current positions. Current positions. Let's go. All right, those are the current positions. That's how you know I'm transparent, my friends. That's how you know. All right, what do we got? Relevant information in regards to the tutorial is finished now. What do we do now? Ads. Okay, so I know a lot of you probably have noticed that there's been more ads in the videos lately, and I am sorry, my friends. I have an excuse ready, but at the end of the day, I just gotta be honest with y'all. Have I sold out a little bit from my original statement that I would never do ads ever? Yes. All right, there's no getting around it. Yes, I have a little bit. Yes, I have. That's true. That's true. But the videos that I put ads on, the ones that are like at the start, I never put them in the middle of the video unless it's like, crazy exception. The due diligence, the full due diligence, I did put ads in just because, I feel like that one I should get an excuse. But the ones that start that is an ad at the beginning of the video, that's because it's too short of a video. I can't actually change that. If I want to have monetization on, I can't change if it's going to be just after or just before or whatever. But anyways, yeah, not many people care about that. Anyways, audio. Is the audio sounding good now? I hope it is. I messed with the audio so many times and it's just I don't know. I'm trying to get it perfect. It sounds pretty good now. But anyways, if there's any audio engineers out there, please tell me what the hell I can do. Tell me what kind of program that I can get. Whatever. If there's any audio engineers, critique my audio. Anyways, upgrades. We're gonna get a camera. We're gonna get a better. This mic is pretty sweet, but I'm gonna upgrade it. The audio is gonna consistently get better as I learn more and get to know what the hell I'm doing with the audio. So yeah, as you can tell, don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know. Kind of. BNGO earnings report. Okay, so I have a schedule right now. So yeah, if we go to the channel, upcoming live streams, I have a schedule right now. next the earnings for, yeah, BNGO earnings live. So set your reminder for that one, my friends. Memes. Do y'all like the memes in the videos? I try to add memes, and just to be more, just to be weird and be interesting and be different, to keep the interest of the videos high. Yeah, I don't know. This is so irrelevant at this point. I feel sorry for anyone that's just getting into this video now. Anyways, yeah, I think that's gonna be it, boys. Thank y'all so much, man. Thank you. It's so sad we didn't even get one member joining the stream. The chat is just empty. Oh, I'm so sad. I'm so sad. Oh man. But anyways, yeah. Yeah. So also, before I forget, this video was because this video was made Tesla due for a bounce, right? Brandon, why are you covering Tesla? What the hell? You never covered Tesla, right? It's because on Patreon it was the first. It was the stock voted. We do a weekly vote on Patreon. Whatever stock gets voted the highest, I do that stock. And I'm also on the Patreon. This is actually really important. I think a lot of you will actually like this and do this, because I'm going to actually reduce the pricing of Patreon and get rid of everything on the Patreon except that weekly vote. I'm going to make it like, I don't know, $1 a month, $5 a month. Literally, you just get to cast your vote for whatever stock. You can comment your stock, and I'll count the votes by the amount of likes that it gets, and you can like your own, of course. So I'm going to do that at the end of this month. So next month I'm gonna do that. So yeah, I'll remind you guys plenty of times, I'm sure. So yeah, I think that is it, boys. I think that is it. Thank y'all so much. This is not financial advice. All right, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Anyways, thank y'all so much. I'll see y'all in the next one.